nothing bothers them.
Yeah.
Dude, multiple times a day, I'm mad at my hands. Because I always put it in this context. Here's how I describe it. I'm a huge video game guy. Love video games. One of my favorite things in the world. If I was creating a character for myself, this would not have been the template. I would not have chosen this, you know? And I think that's the thing that's hard for people to understand sometimes. Is like making the best of something does not necessarily mean that's what you would have chosen. I don't think people with disabilities would have chosen disabilities, but it is what it is, there's I sort of tried to figure out this sense of, like I could be mad about it, and sometimes I am mad about it, but no matter how pissed off I get, I don't wake up with hands tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just not how the world works, and you can argue the merits of whether that's fair or not. That's a whole different story, but no matter how sad or depressed about it I get, that doesn't make hands grow if I get sad enough.
Yeah.
So you have to figure out what to do. And as a kid, it was easier for me because kids are dumb. They just, I have a 3-year-old right now who I love, and he's smart for a 3-year-old, but until you
Yeah.
learn the world, all kids are dumb. That's just how kids work. Um, but then I didn't really start feeling that kind of like struggle until I was old enough to be out in the real world,
Mhm.
when you're like, oh, people don't want to hire me because of my disability. Girls aren't interested in me because of my disability.
Yeah.
I'm more aware now when people are giving me weird looks or offering me help that I didn't ask for. And so my 20s was really rough, because I got like really depressed. I had a really rough time because now just being witty wasn't enough. In certain individual situations, like, oh yeah, I'm fine. No one's saying, hey, you got short arms, you look weird.
Yeah.
But that doesn't help me pay the bills if you're not going to hire me. That doesn't make me feel alone if someone's not going to date me. And then, it also made me the worst version of myself then, because then I became a person, personality wise, that people wouldn't want to hire or that women wouldn't want to date. Because then I got angry and I was mad and I misdirected that in the wrong direction. So yeah, that was a long way to say, kind of long-winded way to say that there's multitudes to this, man. There's levels, and even today, where my career's going well, I have a wonderful wife. I have a mean but fun son who I love very much, but I still have my days, it's still rough.
Absolutely. Like to put it simply is just because someone carries it well doesn't mean that it's not easy, right? Or that it's
Right.
easy,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
And I'm very curious as well. So you navigated this journey, and like you said, you kind of have these days, like even till now, you wake up and you get flustered, right? With the circumstance. What helps you navigate those processes?
uh Trying to ground myself, and as this is stuff I used to always hate hearing, but getting on Zoloft I think helped to where my brain was ready to hear it now.
Yeah.
um is trying to remember the good stuff, um because people, I think it's unhealthy, at least it was for me, when people try to, like, they would always say that, just remember the good stuff, remember it could be worse, remember it could be worse.
Yeah.
Well, having two broken, just because someone has two broken legs doesn't mean that my one broken leg doesn't hurt. That's kind of how I always thought about that. So I felt it was very condescending. But I've learned to sort of ground myself a little bit, because, those days where you're like, okay, this person's not booking me because they think I'm a novelty act. Or I got some weird interactions where people went way over the top to help me in public and basically embarrassed me in front of a group of people.
Mhm.
Um, I just try to remember, uh my kind of mantra that I've picked up over the last few years that's really helped me is that, like, at the end of the day, my wife loves me, my son loves me, my mom loves me, my dog loves me.
Yeah.
Everything else is bonus
Yeah.
at that point. Like, at the end of the day, if I have that, I'm good. And some days that's harder than others. You know, you know how it is. Some days it's a minor inconvenience if someone trying to carry your tray to your table when you didn't ask it. And sometimes it's getting treated like you're the most, helpless human being that's ever lived. Those are rough days, but at the end of the day, I just try to remember I'm here, and there's a lot of great things in my life. I have all my family, my nerd pros things that I love. I got my video games and my sports cards and my and
Yeah.
my sports and wrestling and all that.